What's up, YouTube? This is Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris, and this is my entry into Airborne Sapper Comic Fans 200 sub contest. Before I get into the specifics of the contest, I wanted to just congratulate Airborne Sapper. Super cool guy. In the comic community. I remember when I first started making videos. I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 months after I started. He started making videos. He would come on to some of the live shows and talk in the chats and everything. And eventually he got out and made his first video, and he hasn't looked back ever since. He's been just one of the great constants in YouTube as far as making videos. I mean, he does at least 2 videos a week. And he's just got so much content that's so good. The series that he did on the hip hop variant covers, from the time that they came out until right now, like he's got one up there, and he lets everybody know what cover it is, that they're swiping from what album and stuff like that. Really awesome concept. Great series of videos. He also does a lot of local shop hauls. He also does swap meets, cons, garage sales, yard sales, and he picks up some gems out of those, all those different areas. And then also, the other, really awesome addition to his collection, which is his Funko Pop collection. If you are into pops and you like, exclusives and all types of stuff, don't look any further than his channel. He's got one of the best collections I've ever seen on YouTube, so definitely check him out. If you like what you see when you check him out, give him a sub. Definitely an awesome guy. You won't be disappointed, and great person, and someone who I'm really privileged to call a friend on YouTube. So Sapper, again, congratulations, and just hope to see your channel keep growing, and more and more subs and just more content from you, man. I love your channel. So the contest that he had put out was for us to make our own Comic-Con, and starting from the name to different artists, celebrities, the headliners, things like that. But first, I wanted to also just go ahead and list off the people that he wanted to have everyone sub to. For the contest, trying to help some other channels gain some subscribers and views and things like that. So the first one is Spidey Fan. Next is Abject Kid. Following him is Bat Avenger. Then Robotech00 and SS Comic Reader. I went ahead and subbed to all these channels. I'm looking forward to seeing the content that they all provide. I've been subbed to SS Comic Reader for a little bit. Really cool channel, and so I'm looking forward to see what else everybody else has. But just wanted to go ahead and show those channels out to kind of let everybody know that you should check those guys out too. Watch their content, and give them subs if you like them. So on to the contest. So there's a series of questions that he asked, and I have my list. And so, the first question is, what would you name your Comic-Con? So for me, because I love this slogan, I always have, something that Stan Lee says all the time about comic fans, and I think it kind of identifies, or it's his identifier for all of us, which is True Believers. So I would name my con the True Believers Comic-Con. I think that's, just something that I've always liked that he's always done. So who would my headliners be for this convention? Oddly enough, you'd probably think it would be Stan Lee, but it won't be Stan Lee just because of the fact that we can choose anybody alive or dead to be the headliners of a convention. So if I had my choice to have 2 people that I would want to have headline a convention, it would be Jack Kirby and Bob Kane. Jack Kirby, just because he is the king of comics. I mean, the man has created so many characters, both in Marvel and DC, and his own stuff. And he's just, one of the, if not, I think, the probably greatest creator that's ever, actually worked on comics as far as the amount of content that he's made. And next it would be Bob Kane, because he's the creator of Batman, who, I mean, you can argue, people will argue all the time who's the most iconic, based on, whichever preference you have. But you can't deny that Batman is definitely, a symbol that stands out in comics. I mean, the bat signal, the character, everything. I mean, it's transcended the last like 70 years. So, you know, definitely something that, you know, those two creators that I'd want to meet, and, you know, at least just say thank you for their contributions, or at least, you know, you know, if I was lucky enough to have just a conversation with them, talk to them about, you know, just comics in general, and, you know, everything like that. So, those are my headliners. The next would be the featured artist that I have, and, you know, on his on the channel, he said to choose 3, so I'm choosing 3 that I would love to go ahead and, you know, just, excuse me, I'm battling a cold, so, 3 artists that I would love to be able to meet at some point, alive or dead, and those 3 would be Jim Starlin, who was the man who created Thanos. I also think that he had a hand in creating Mongol as well. And he's done, you know, just a lot of really other great art as well. He is still around, so at some point I would love to meet him. Next up is a childhood icon of mine, which would be Jim Lee. Jim Lee was one of the first, when I was first getting into comics, he's one of the people that I was, you know, pretty much just conscious of because of the 1991 X-Men run that he did. You know, the volume 2 of the X-Men. You know, really, really just awesome artist, and he's, you know, gone from, you know, I mean, he's just the man right now. I mean, he's gone from an artist to basically, you know, the top of DC Comics and stuff like that. So, you know, definitely, like I said, a childhood icon that I would love to meet. Sorry about that. The next person is artist who is no longer with us, but is somebody that if I had the chance to meet, I would have loved to, and that is Herb Trimpe, or Trimp. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce his name, but he is the guy who worked on Hulk and brought us one of the greatest characters in comics, which is Wolverine. He was the artist on Hulk 180, 181, or basically the Hulk run that also included 180, 181, and 182. And so, you know, just an incredible artist, and, you know, just someone who I would love to meet. Also, he worked on one of my favorite series of all time as well, G.I. Joe. So, you know, I would have a lot of fun, you know, talking with him and just discussing comics. Next would be the movie cast I'd want to have at my con. And so I wanted to pick somebody, a cast that wasn't really cliched, and has roots in comic and pop culture. And so that cast would be the original cast of Conan the Barbarian. So I'm talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Earl Jones, and Meiko Iwamatsu. You know, all 3 of them have been in so many different, you know, genres of movies and stuff like that, that span over different realms that have to do with comics and stuff like that. So just, I mean, imagine the star power. Arnold Schwarzenegger is coming to a Comic-Con. James Earl Jones, Darth Vader, you know, is coming to a Comic-Con. Meiko Iwamatsu, who's been in all types of movies, from, you know, Conan the Barbarian movies to Kung Fu movies to, you know, just, he's somebody who's been all over the place, and he's done a lot of voice acting for cartoons and stuff like that. So, you know, really, really just awesome, you know, awesome cast. And there's other people that were, you know, involved in the movie as well. I don't remember every last person, but I think it would be a pretty cool cast to see up there. And then for my TV cast, it would be the TV or cartoon cast I'd love to see would be the voice actors from the X-Men X-Men cartoon from the 90s. That was on Fox 25 back in the day. You know, just a great, great show. And it would be just really fun to see them kind of act out or voice act out a scene, or just voice act out, you know, maybe not a scene from the show, but just you know, just a scene in general. I just hear them talking about, you know, just talking in the characters' voices again would be really cool. This is one that you don't see too often. I know that more cons are starting to incorporate these guys, but he also had a slot for a wrestler. What wrestler would you want to see at a Comic-Con if you were having one? And that would be one of my favorite of all time, probably my top favorite of all time, and that's Bret the Hitman Hart. You know, I've always been a fan of Bret. You know, from this time in the Hot Foundation to when he went solo and won singles titles, and then also, you know, his feud with Shawn Michaels and everything like that. You know, always been a big Bret Hart fan. And as far as now the band musical artist I'd love to see at my Comic-Con, it would have to be the Wu-Tang Clan. And I mean the entire clan, you know, the original clan with, you know, Old Dirty Bastard, who's no longer with us. You know, I'd want to have all 9 of them in the con. I don't know if they'd be doing a concert. I don't know if they'd be just talking, but just to have all of them there, you know, in one spot would be awesome. And then the final question is, what would my con exclusive pop be? Now, it would either be if they were able to do it and do it right. And this would be kind of cool. So if you're listening, Funko, and if you can do it and get the license and not have a problem with this, hear me out. I would love to see them do the Constructicons. And I mean all of them. And then if they're able to combine them all together and make Devastator, that would be cool. If not, then I would have a Comic-Con exclusive Devastator Funko Pop. So either the Constructicons that can combine together, or Devastator. That would be my my Comic-Con exclusive pop. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, be sure to check out Airborne Sapper Comic Fans channel. You know, like I said, you know, super cool guy, lots of content. You will not be disappointed watching his stuff. You know, definitely check him out. Definitely check out the other channels that I shouted out that you know, he asked that everybody sub to for the contest. And for all the other entrants, good luck. I'm gonna get going, so I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, this has been Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris. I'm out.